Anyway, I found another nice place to take a scenic walk, so I thought I'd make another update. It is about 4 in the afternoon, so in terms of my fasting for the event, I have been fasting for 20 hours now. I feel so good. It feels like every time I fast, I've done this like 10 times this year already, but every time I go this long fasting, it feels like a big weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. I don't have to spend energy or mental thought process on what I'm going to eat next. I know it sounds really silly, but it's true. I get to use those mental clock cycles to think about something else, like how I'm going to interact with people that I meet here in Spokane, where I'm taking a trip for the day, or tonight when I view the comet and view Jupiter and Saturn in conjunction, how I'm gonna make the best of the viewing, or I'm hoping to go to a theme park tomorrow. So Silverwood theme park has reopened. So I get to spend my mental thought process on that instead of what I'm gonna eat, how I'm gonna eat, what I'm gonna eat. Silly. I know it sounds silly, but it literally does consume quite a bit of energy to think about that. And now that I've cleared that out of my thoughts, it's like it's kind of like you run an antivirus on your computer. The problem is that I can't do this indefinitely, obviously, right? I've thought about eating just one meal a day, but it still doesn't have the same effect as going on a very, very long fast. I wish I could constantly feel like this. That's I-90 down there. But I want to make sure you guys can hear me, so let's wait until I get over there. Okay, so there are two minor lessons that I learned out of this this whole COVID-19 situation that I wanted to share with you guys. The first one is that of your choice of words. So back in March, when we first went into lockdown, and I turned on the radio, or maybe it was the TV, and they were saying we should practice social distancing. Those two words were very upsetting to me. And I know they've tried to change the words. Now they want to say personal distancing or physical distancing, which I applaud, because when I first heard social distancing, it was very upsetting, because not long ago, one of my New Year's resolutions for 2020 was I have social anxiety problems. I talked about how large crowds and noises bother me, and one of my resolutions was to get over that. And so when I heard social distancing, it almost sounded like "fuck you," right? It really did. And as a result, I kind of revolted against that. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. Had they said personal distancing, or give people personal space, or even if they had said something like I think personal or physical distancing would be the best words, or maybe just, instead of using a catchphrase, just say like give people 6 feet, right? Had they said anything like that, that would have been much more acceptable, right? Because at least you have a good reason for it. Social distancing makes it sound like we're supposed to hate each other, right? And I know they're trying to change it. I think social distancing actually comes from the 1918 pandemic, when physically distancing basically meant social distancing. We didn't have the telephone at the time. Okay. And the second thing I learned is that it is so much easier to do things one day at a time, right? The quarantine wasn't 3 months, right? It was 2 weeks, and then another week, and then another week, and so on and so forth, until people caught on that it seems like it's going to last forever, right? But at the beginning, it was day by day, week by week, right? And then a month, and then 2, right? And it makes me realize that if there's a big challenge, especially if I need to change a lifestyle of mine, and I need to change it for the rest of my life, right? Like the eating habits, or I talked about how I had problems with masturbating, how it was almost an addiction, and I want to change that. It is so much easier to do it one day at a time, right? And not panic over, not, for example, don't sit there and think about, oh my God, from now on, if I'm going to fast every 4th of July, like how I did earlier this month, or every big anniversary, or how am I going to fast when I go to my friend's wedding, or I have a younger brother, when I go to his wedding, or maybe his graduation, assuming we hold graduations again, how am I going to continue to fast during that time? It could be easy to give up if you think in those regards. But if you think, like right now, today is July 25th, right? It's so much easier to think, okay, I might be craving something, but I can have that tomorrow. Let's enjoy the rest of the day fasting. Let's make some YouTube videos. It's so much easier to go for that, right? What I really despise about, I'm not going to name names, but I've been at different workplaces where we don't have incremental goals like that. It's so much easier to have something to shoot for, right? I can work toward this goal and then worry about whatever happens later, right? A day at a time, a goal at a time, right? Unfortunately, a lot of people don't hold this philosophy, and it can be very, you can get lost, right? When you don't have something to work toward, right? Just like the fasting. I'm not trying to go on a 24-hour fast every week for a year. I'm only trying to fast another 8 hours right now, right? That's how I look at it. And then we can make another goal after 8 hours has passed, right? I hope we take that lesson out of the quarantine, right? Had Donald Trump at the beginning, in March, said that we're locking everything down for 6 months, right? We could have started a civil war, right? But because it was 2 weeks, most people want to take a 2-week vacation anyway, right? Most people after a 2-week vacation want 2 more weeks, right? So the way he did it, I really, or maybe it wasn't Donald Trump's decision, but I really applaud whoever made the, because I know that they knew that we needed to lock down much more than 2 weeks. I know that they knew that. Okay, what else do I want to say? There's been a lot of learning experiences for sure. Oh yeah, the other thing I learned is, I kind of touched on this in a previous video, but you can't take anything for granted. So many people think that at the beginning of the lockdown, when I first heard the words, social distancing, and when my workplace closed down, and I was thinking about what I'm gonna miss, and I completely forgot about all the things that I take for granted day to day. I was thinking about the big things, the going to work, traveling for the Computer Olympiad conference, various friends and family members, the big events. I forgot all about the little things. The ability to go to the grocery store without having to panic, without having people arguing with you over social distancing, little jokes every day. What else? It makes me realize how many things that I have that I never really appreciated until they're gone. But I'm not even missing the big things anymore. I actually enjoy my personal space a lot better. See, I would much rather be making this July 25th movie by myself than with a girl. I'm not missing my girlfriend at all. And the game conference, I'm not, yeah, I wish I could go there, but at the same time, I have more time to get ready for the next conference. You know, my games are kind of a mess right now. I have some time to travel out here and go to a theme park tomorrow. What else? See, those are replaceable. The big things are replaceable. The little things are not, right? The being able to go to a grocery store and to mingle with people and to shake people's hands and not have to worry about dying, or have people worry about you killing them. Let's see, oh, there's a bank right there. Going to a bank and getting rolls of coins to search through, right? See, I miss those things a whole lot more than, actually it's not even the coins I miss, it's the interactions with the bank tellers about looking through coins that I actually do miss, now that I think about it. Or, look around. I don't eat at Subways, but being able to go to a restaurant and sit down, right? What else is here? I'm just trying to see what I'm missing. But it's the little things that we miss. Like the going to the conferences, the going out with my girlfriend, going to events, going to theme parks, like I'm going tomorrow finally. Those can all be replaced. It's the little everyday things that can't be. It's so funny. But I'm definitely not going to take the trip to Silverwood theme park tomorrow for granted anymore, now that I've been through what I've been through. What else? Oh, yeah, when I do finally return to the office in the near future, I gotta be careful how I bring up my views about the world, especially about COVID-19 and about the rioting and the Black Lives Matter, about my political views on the elections, about how I'm taking advantage of all this craziness, right? I talked about in previous videos how, because so many people are losing their jobs, you know, maybe when we go back to work we can all find a better fit in the workplace. I talked about how people are breaking up with their significant others and how we can go back to a relationship that is a better fit. I talked about how, you know, when the markets are a mess, there's an opportunity to bargain hunt, which I already did with silver. What else? But I need to be careful. I need to dial how I talk about all this stuff, because there are a lot of people who are not in the same boat as I am. I have coworkers who are at high risk of COVID-19 because of their age or their previous health conditions. You know, it's crazy that we even though the shutdowns with the airports, and yet every day I still hear as many airplanes flying overhead. You have to wonder who's flying. I like to view the night sky, so those are always annoying, because when I take a 15-second exposure photograph and then there's just lines in there from airplanes flying overhead. I thought I would get a break from that, but apparently not. I guess they need more plates because there's social distancing on each one. But I gotta be careful how I bring up my views about all these things, because I have coworkers who are at risk of COVID-19, and then I'm out here looking at maps of counties which have reopened and traveling to them. You know, we're in Seattle, we're in phase 2, and I'm traveling to places that are phase 3 or 4 or even better, right? And I gotta be careful how I bring that up. I probably have to wait to tell my coworkers about going to Silverwood theme park, because that's probably not going to be very popular at the time. Not very popular that I'm doing what I call, well, what I privately call COVID tourism, right? When I look at the maps and which counties are open and I go there, that's definitely out, right? Unless I'm talking to people my age, or, you know, people who have already recovered from COVID-19 and don't have to worry about things. what else? Oh, and the rioting. You know, I have coworkers who think their lives matter the most because of the political atmosphere right now, and they do. But it's a very sensitive topic. I gotta be careful how I bring up my views on that. And when I'm talking about anything else, right, my views often leak out in ways that I don't realize, right? Obviously, I'm constantly trying to take advantage of the situation on hand, right? Not necessarily just financially, but like I said, people are breaking up with their significant other. Our job market is like reshuffling, and I want to take advantage of that, right? Gotta be careful how I bring that up. But it was the few lessons that I talked about here. It was a real awakening, right? I never thought about how our choice of words or how we view doing things one day at a time. I like it. See, I used to have a big problem with my. I talked about how one of my resolutions this year was to take better control of my my eating habits. I have a binge eating, or not necessarily binge eating, but I have out of control food cravings that really cause me a lot of strife in my life. I've been dealing with this for decades, but this year the difference is that I've been doing it one challenge at a time, right? I'll do a fast because it's an anniversary, or a birthday, or the video challenge today, the 4th of July, and I remember earlier this year, because I always have a binge problem every time I want to celebrate. So now I celebrate by fasting. Earlier this year, I was trying to block out of my head how I was gonna fast when I go to a friend's graduation. I have a friend who was graduating high school this year, and I didn't even get to go to it. So had I gave up the idea by worrying about it, that would have been really silly, right? I ended up fasting at home anyway on the day that she graduated. But at least I didn't have to explain to her and her family why I'm fasting. That's always a big challenge for me. All right, I'll update you guys when I get to Silverwood, I guess. Thanks.